Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time, like a year long time, but it's all good. We're here, we're filming, and we just created this Valentine's Day mauve all matte look. Oh, hi. Hi. I just heard you snoring. Do you want to say hi? Come here. Say hi. Say comment, like, and subscribe. Say it, Baba. Say it. Okay, okay. We're going to start off by using the e.l.f. Putty Poreless Primer. Next, I do want to jump into the Stay Naked Foundation by Urban Decay. I have the color 50WY, which says yellow undertone. And I actually did not buy this myself. My husband bought it for me for Christmas because he saw me watching a few YouTube videos, and he's like, well, if she's watching it, she must want it, which is hilarious. So he even picked out the color. So let's wear this today. What I do like about this foundation is that it's very soft and natural. So with a wet beauty blender, we're just gonna pounce that right in. And as you can see, it's a little bit more yellow than, granted, I like my foundation yellow, but it's a little bit more yellow than I think that I would pick for myself. But I do feel that once you put on the concealer and the bronzer and the powder and everything, just evens out. So I really do enjoy this foundation. I feel like it feels very weightless, very soft, and very skin-like. I mean, it might be the lights that are reflecting on the camera, but I feel like it looks very natural and skin-like, so it doesn't feel like there's foundation sitting on top of your skin. It just looks and feels very natural, you know what I mean? All right, next we're gonna do concealer contour, cream contour. We're gonna be using the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer. I just picked this up in the color Deep Cinnamon. So we're just gonna go ahead and place this right through our contour sides. I've never used this color, so hopefully it looks really nice. To blend it in, I like using a synthetic loose brush. Whew, this is strong. It just blended right in. So for the sides of my face, I definitely want to just do one dot at a time, and we'll build up. That blended in so beautifully, and to think that I felt at first that I used so much product, but it literally looks so beautiful on the skin. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy, and then you end up like this, but it's okay. It blends out really nicely. I'm not worried. All right, so now we're gonna go back into that beauty blender, and with the remaining foundation that's left on it, we're just gonna blend that contour in, especially the jawline. All right, next we're gonna jump into concealer. At first, I also picked up the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer in the color Light Sand. I do have two other colors already, but they've always either been too light or too dark. So we're not gonna take the risk today. We're gonna use our trusty Shape Tape Concealer in the color Light Neutral to highlight our skin. All right, so we're gonna work the top and bottom first while we let the concealer sit for just a tiny bit. But I also like to go back with that contour brush and just blend it all in. And then it just becomes so seamless. All right, so next, the under eye. Just to really highlight and concentrate it right there. under the eye. Remember that there's nothing that hurts in blending, even if it takes one more second. And it just looks so natural, like seriously, I don't know how it's reflecting on camera, but in person, it just looks like it all just seems to blend right in together. I am seriously obsessed with how this looks right now. I am obsessed with this concealer. Like seriously, this was a first time impression on this as a contour. I've purchased, like I said, a few of the lighter colors. It's never been the right colors. Like they've been too light or literally matches me to the T on my foundation. So I just picked up a new one, like I mentioned, so I definitely gotta try this out. But on the contour, obsessed. Next, we're gonna go ahead and set everything in place. And I started following this girl named Harush. She's like a pro makeup artist. She does Kim Kardashian's makeup, and she mentioned in one of her videos that she mixes her setting powders. So I wanted to do the same. So one of my favorite setting powders is the AIRSPUN loose setting powder. I have the cap right here, but I'm using the cap as like where I'm putting all the powder. So I love this setting powder, but it's really white, striking, bright, which that's what I love about it. But sometimes it's just too white, you know what I mean, like too bright, in other words. So then I started using this setting powder, and I've actually been using it for a good like 9 months already, and I'm obsessed. Like this is literally my favorite setting powder, which is the Too Faced Born This Way, and I've literally used a good amount already, which I love. But I put the two of these on the cap, and then I blended them together with the end of a makeup brush, and that's what we're gonna do to set our under eyes. So again, let's make sure that there's no creases. But with that same wet beauty blender, we're gonna grab a good amount of powder, and we're gonna put it on your hand. That means like the top of it is now gone, and just sink it into the skin. Again, a little bit more, some on the hand. So my favorite powder is the Studio Max Fix powder, which I've been using this for years. Nothing changes. And with a big brush, I'm just gonna set her face. I'm focusing on the sides of my face, my nose, my forehead, but whatever's remaining on the brush, I lightly dust it on the remaining of my face, because remember, we're still gonna go ahead and contour the face, so we don't want too much powder on top of powder, but I also don't wanna not set my contour, my cream contour. Of course, I come home with a Walgreens bag, and my dog, because he sees my son, excuse me, not my dog, my son, he automatically assumes that that bag is for him. So of course, he attacks it, thinking it's a toy, drops my blush, and now it's cracked. So phenomenal, lovely. This is the Wet n Wild in the color Pearlescent Pink. Oh, completely shattered. Delightful. Well, I'm not gonna not use it, so. That is so pretty. That is super pretty. It's like a very soft corally pink, but more corally with a bit of a sheen. It reminds me of basically like Spring Sheen from MAC, but a more affordable version, obviously. It's like less than $5, I think. Did I forget to contour? Yes, I did. So now we're gonna go backtrack and contour, which is perfectly fine because obviously it looks like I'm already contoured, but we do want to set it with some contour. So we're gonna use our Morphe M143 brush. This is one of my favorite brushes. As you guys can see, it's dirty. I have 2 of them of how much I love it, but I mean, seriously, if you guys haven't gotten this brush for your contour, I don't know what you're doing. So we are jumping into our HOOLAH. Really sculpting her face. right, so we're looking snatched. Moving on, I want to go back to that sponge, to that wet sponge with the pointy side, and grab a little bit more of that powder and bring it down the nose while I do my eyebrows. All right, so now that we have our eyebrows done, we're gonna use the remaining concealer that we have on our hand that we used to clean up our eyebrows. We're gonna use a synthetic fluffy brush, and we're gonna prime our eyes with that same dried up concealer. Anyways, with a fluffy brush, we're then gonna brush this away. We're gonna grab a little bit more powder, and then we're gonna set the lid. I normally wait to do this step because I don't like to, you know, put on powder on my eyelid and bring it up to my eyebrow in a sense, and then get it on my set eyebrows. So I'm using the ColourPop Brow Boss Gel to set my eyebrows. All right, so now we're gonna jump into the eyes, and I'm gonna zoom you guys in a little bit. Is that nice and zoomed in? Who am I? Who am I? All right, so next we are jumping into eyes. You know what I want to do, because I feel like my contour isn't as clean as I'd like it to be. So now that this is a little bit dry, we're going to jump back into our MAC Studio Fix powder. We are going to use the TATI Beauty Volume 1 eyeshadow palette. I'm super excited. I've already used this maybe twice, and I'm absolutely obsessed. It is so gorgeous. Like, seriously. Like, the camera doesn't even do it. Oh, do you see, like, even these shadows, like here, where these are supposedly just like the textured colors, they have the most beautiful, like, pearlescent colors. It's so pretty. I've used this entire row, as you guys can tell, and I'm seriously obsessed. So we are gonna go ahead and get started. So with a fluffy brush, we are jumping into the color right here called Poet in the matte. Let's be real, this is a really pretty pinky color, but I'd rather it be a little bit more neutral. So I'm gonna jump into the Soothe color in the matte shade as well to kind of like neutralize that color, to not make it so pinky. You see how it diffused like that bold purpley pink vibe that it was going with? Like, now it's more of like a neutral, softer mauvey pink versus a magenta color that it looks like on the pan. With a more smaller concentrated brush, we're gonna go into Ritual in the matte, and again with a little bit of that Poet, and we're gonna put that right in the crease. In the outer corner and brushing it right out. Guys, never fear blending like two colors that don't even go together, like brown and purple, to get the shade that you specifically want. And obviously all of this is going to be covered right here with concealer, so we really just want to make sure that this part right out here is really blended out. As you guys can see, I'm not scared of any fallout, just because I feel that if you try to be precise with your eyeshadow, or like you tap off the excess before you apply it to your eye, you shouldn't have that much fallout. Like the fallout or the additional powder of the eyeshadow should just be sitting on the pan, really. Alright guys, so now that we've arrived at like the desired deepness of where we want our shadow to be, now we're gonna work with lighter shades. We are grabbing our Shape Tape again, and on the back of our hand, which we have obviously have used plenty of, we're gonna grab a synthetic brush. Synthetic for me and creams are like my thing. This here is a synthetic Morphe brush. The number wore off, so who knows what color or what number it is, my bad. So with that concealer, we're gonna bring it in to the inner corner. we're not necessarily cutting our crease. Like I'm not doing a defined cutting of the crease, even though it might look like it on camera. It's literally super soft and blended, and it's very seamless. Like I'm not making any harsh lines, like not even at the end. We're literally just patting that concealer in and blending it. So now we're gonna go back into that more smaller brush that had the remaining like deeper tone, and we might go back into a little bit more of that brown. Remember to tap off the excess, and then we're gonna bring that right back into that crease, and a little bit on that outer corner. Do I want to add shimmer or no shimmer? Do I want to add shimmer or no shimmer? All right, we're gonna do a little bit of shimmer. So we're gonna jump into this shade right here, which is a Aura Color in Sequin with a flat brush. And this is the first time I'm using this shade, so I'm hoping that it looks really pretty. And it does. There is a lot of fallout on this one, so you definitely want to tap off. I like it, but I'm not obsessed, just because like those little sequins that you see in it aren't like even. You know what I mean? Like it's not everywhere. You just kind of like, once you start brushing it on, tapping it in, they kind of just like fade away and diffuse, you know what I mean? Look at all those sparkles just falling off my face. Okay, so we're gonna stop there because I'm not crazy about it, even though I do like the whiter effect that it gave me in the back. And we're gonna go back into that matte shade because boom. So we're gonna go into that all matte nude shade, which everybody has this shade somewhere. You see, there you go, sequin wear. This is the kind of look that I like to go with. There you go, look at that, bring it all in. Yup. And with that fluffy brush, bring those two colors together. With a more pointy brush, this one here is a Morphe M321. We are going to mix a little bit of that brownie color with a little bit of that hot pink again. Poet and Soothe in Matte, just a tiny bit of both, and we're gonna bring that under our lash line. And then we'll be marrying those two colors all the way out, giving that smoky cut-eye effect. So I'm gonna pop on some lashes and I'll be right back. All right, now that the lashes are on, we're going to remove the setting powder. We are going to set our face with the Badescue facial spray with aloe, herbs, and rose water. We're apparently in the pink vibes, and as you guys can tell, I love this. So remember that when we set our face, it's just gonna merge all of those powders that we've used and make it all very skin-like and make it last all day. Anyways, so now we are going to do our lips, but let's bring down our hair. So now we are lining our lips. And since we're keeping it in the mauve pink family, we are jumping into using the ColourPop Lippie Pencil in the color Oh Snap. Then we are using a little bit more of a neutral tone, which is a Milani liquid lipstick in the color 10 Adorable. So to finish it off, we're gonna use my favorite lip gloss, which is the BUXXOM lip glosses in the color Blushing Margarita. All of the colors are my favorite, but this formula is my absolute favorite. How cute is this gloss though? All right guys, so this here is the final look. Is a very cute and mauvey liquid lip. It is Valentine's Day. It's cute, it's mauvey, it's pinky, it's girly, and it's all matte. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Oh, you're such a good boy. You're such a good boy. Yes, you are.